Yeah, and just briefly, I wanted to touch on that UK stabbing.
Okay, yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, so I kind of want to relate two things to that, or one thing to that. Maybe you can refresh my history. You're more of a history buff. The last time that the Muslims and Christians had like their little battle with each other, which Christians were those? Like the knights and the horses and the the ones with all the swords, and they battled each other.
The Crusaders,
Yes.
was it the English church or Catholics or Teutonic Knights?
Something like that.
Something like that.
But yeah, the Crusaders.
Yeah.
So I just want to know, and I'm not doing this in a mean spirit. I'm struggling with this, to be honest, because I felt myself get pretty angry when I heard about the little girls being stabbed by that person.
Yeah.
So there's something that you guys say. I think it's more of a Jesse thing, but like not judging, and someone who judges is just as bad as like a murderer. So I was just wondering how, like, if I had choice words for that guy, how would that make me worse or equal to him stabbing little girls to death?
Spiritually, like, you don't have a right to, in the Bible, Jesus talked about a man who was owed a great debt to his master, and then he was forgiven this great debt by his master, and then this fellow servant of his also owed this servant who was forgiven, and he started choking out the guy and saying, "You owe me, pay me what you owe me." And the master caught wind of that, and he said, "You know what? I was just merciful to you, and you're not being merciful to your fellow man. I'm going to throw you in jail, and you're not going to get out until you paid all your debt after all. I've no longer forgiven your debt." So that means that you have to forgive. You have to, you have to forgive. Otherwise, God's not going to forgive you. You have to be like God. For God forgiving you makes you like God.
Got it. So can you see why one would struggle with that concept when it comes to some immigrants stabbing a bunch of little girls in the face and killing them?
I can understand the emotional outrage that it would prompt.
Because I could tell you, like, I've been in a little bit of a mood since that, and it's not like I didn't forgive my mommy type anger. This is like a new, like, I'm labeling it like spiritual anger that I've never felt before.
Yeah, and you're labeling it spiritual as in justified anger, or just a
like
dark
I'm feeling
thing?
like a crusader right now.
But there's no feeling to being a crusader, if you don't mind me talking like a Jesse. You know what I mean? There's a man isn't moved in that way necessarily. Like, I remember, were you also angry when they tried to shoot Trump?
I wasn't angry about them shooting at Trump. I was angry about all the nonsense, the way the Democrats acted afterwards.
Okay. But the same thing, like, those are, you don't want to go with those, either this feeling or that feeling. Because you don't want to go rash thinking that you're a crusader, and who knows what. Like, I'm not thinking that you're going to do anything. I'm just thinking you don't want to go with those feelings or turn dark.
I'm struggling with it because I feel like if we have, these people running down the streets and killing us, all this like forgiveness and not judging and stuff, that's going to get you stabbed. So to me, I can't really say what I want to say for the sake of your channel, but what's going on in the UK, not necessarily like a bad thing in my opinion.
Oh, I think it is a bad thing. Because
I don't at all. I think it's the exact. Well, never mind. I'm just gonna say.
Because if you knew what forgiveness and not judging was, then you would be able to see that you're gonna stay away from getting stabbed. But if you're gonna react like how the English are reacting, if those are Englishmen, I'm not sure. Maybe they are. if you're going to react how they're reacting, they're only making more enemies and inviting more stabbings and government clampdown on themselves.
Yeah, the government clampdown is more what I'm worried about. The more stabbings or more battling, it's inevitable. But I think we definitely should be worried about more surveillance.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It's
I just feel like
you remind me. You remind me when you're sort of celebrating inwardly you are celebrating the riots against the Muslims and the migrants and the government who's supporting that. You celebrating that reminds me of the people who were celebrating January 6th, and they were like kind of pleased. They found it cathartic that the January 6thers, some of them were rioting and fighting with the cops and stuff and breaking windows. And
well, I mean, you have to
people
think,
were no, but let me finish my point.
Okay.
That inward celebration at that expression of anger, thinking that it's a good thing, that's blindness.
Okay.
That's
Would
emotions.
I rather be blind or stabbed to death?
Blind will get you stabbed to death. You're giving a false dichotomy. You think those people who were stabbed to death in the school, you think those were children of people who could see? You think you're any different from them? Being emotional about them getting stabbed?
Do I think I'm different from them?
Yeah.
I guess not. No, I don't.
So then, how come you're pretending like you're gonna like your way, the rioting way, is gonna save us from getting stabbed? Rich says it perfectly. Rich says it perfectly.
Got to be in defense.
Rich says it perfectly. You're taking events too personally.
Defend
yourself
when the rest
and
of
your
you
family.
guys are sitting back with this forgiveness stuff. Someone's going to have to defend, So maybe it's types like myself or the Englishmen who are going to have to take that up, while the rest of you guys just kind of sit and watch it happen and call us names. And I'm not trying to be mean, Hake. That's kind of.
You're just speaking in blindness, though. Because if you really understood the forgiveness stuff, then you wouldn't be like shrugging it off.
Yeah, that's a tough one when it comes to killing little girls. And I mean,
but you're emotional about killing of little girls. You're being a little girl.
Well, I mean, you calling me a name doesn't really, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Don't you know? But don't you see that you're being emotional about something that has nothing to do with you, and then you're acting like you're going to be able to stop it because you have a feeling that feels different from the other feelings that you used to have. You're in your imagination.
I suppose I am.
And you being influenced by these events that's not manly. I mean, that's not gonna.
Like I said, all these name calling and stuff like that. I don't know. That stuff just kind of bounces off my chest at this point.
I'm not trying to get into your chest. I'm trying to point out, talk a little bit of sense into you.
Well, that's why I called you.
Yeah, but you're not. But you sound like you've already made a decision about us. Because you're like, you go out with
real men
your forgiveness
at some point
stuff.
who are going to have to defend this, and it's whether we get called betas or liberals or whatever, that's all fine and dandy, but someone's going to have to do something, or in defense.
I mean, that's why you go the orderly way, the civilized way, which is you get guys like Trump in charge who are sensible, a little bit more sensible and manly in their thinking in terms of how they run things. And you go about things step by step. You don't jump ahead thinking that you're going to stop a stabbing.
Well, I mean, Trump literally allowed the BLM riots. He did 0% to stop any of that because he was scared that people would call him racist. So what's he going to do to stop, a million Rwandans from coming over, into the U.S. and doing the same thing? It's going to happen.
I'm not saying that Trump is the only solution, but you get a sensible man. Who would you rather have in charge during riots? Trump or the guy who's running England right now?
I'm not familiar with who it is, but he doesn't sound like he's doing his job.
Yeah, exactly. So you want sensible people, so you have a little bit of a better chance. and you don't have people burning down hotels of that house migrants, because that's only spreading evil. You're fighting evil with evil. And you think that you're a crusader?
Well, to wrap it up, so the Crusaders, would they be considered beta liberal little girls?
I have no idea, because I wasn't around. I don't know what they were fighting against. I don't know what measures they took. You know me. I don't know history. So, but these people rioting, but you know that these people rioting, do you support burning down hotels that house migrants?
For the sake of your channel, not answering that.
But that shows that you're blind. You're just angry.
I guess, I don't see the issue with that, because
you don't see the issue with being blind.
Gotta change. At the moment, not with this one, no. And I mean,
when you're blindness, how are you going to stop a stabbing?
It's not like I'm out here doing shit. I'm sorry. I'm like just in my car talking to you about it. You know,
right.
Nothing's going to actually happen.
I know, but
it's
spiritually,
all in my imagination, like you said.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm just saying. Basically, I'm just saying, when this stuff comes to our doorstep, I'm hoping that it's not going to be a bunch of people just sitting around. Oh, I forgive you. You know, like there's going to have to be something done, in my opinion.
Interesting, Alex.
Oh, sorry?
I said interesting.
Probably not the best call, I guess. But
no, it's a great call. It's interesting, because that's a lot of people are moved and influenced, and this is exactly what Satan wants.
Yeah, it's probably exactly what the government wants to. You know, they want the whites to get mad and retaliate, and then they can put more tracking, you know.
Yeah, you already know.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I know.
There's a right and wrong way to go about standing up for yourself. So, anyway,
I'll try to consider and work on this forgiving when it comes to this person in particular.
What's even to forgive? Like, I'm not even thinking about that guy. That's the interesting question. Like, why?
Because Christians are being there's basically a war against Christians right now, and most Christians seem to just be sitting idly by with these concepts. And they're
but why are you thinking that you need to forgive him? Like, there's nothing to. He didn't do anything to you.
You're telling me I should.
No, I'm saying, why do you even think that you should forgive him? He didn't even do anything to you.
Maybe I don't have enough IQ to process that one. I don't know.
It's not even IQ level. It's like you're identifying with other Christians, thinking that you're going to protect other Christians by being mad at this guy.
Yeah,
that guy is like literally nothing to me, neither positive nor negative. I see he was a cute kid, and I see he's an ugly, almost an adult. He was a cute little Rwandan kid in a commercial, and now he has this wild hair, and he did this evil thing. But beyond that, I'm not even thinking about him. I'm not saying my way is right, but it's odd to me that you're this hung up on it.
Maybe I'm what's the word? Blowing it out of proportion. Because I'm not that raging about it.
Because you're dealing with your own life, right? You're dealing with your life, right?
Right, of course.
Okay, because a lot of times when people aren't dealing with their own life, they're caught up with other events. And
I usually don't.
It doesn't even matter.
I foresee this stuff coming to our doorsteps, and I'm ready for it.
Well, make sure you're ready with a clear mind, not with an overreacting mind, because in that blindness, you may overreact, and you're already overreacting inwardly, which is not good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nice, Alex. Interesting.
Yeah,
Great.
I appreciate the insight, and thank you as always, Hake.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. Let me know if anything in your mind changes. I'm curious.
For sure.
For or against. Take care,
All right,
man.
you have a good day.
All right, bye. Interesting. Why care about Axel? Like, I'm not thinking that I have to forgive him or be mad at him. Maybe I don't have a high enough T. He has higher T than me. It's interesting. There is a lot of phoniness in whatever message that you take. You're going to find people who are, oh yeah, don't be angry. And they're faking it. So I get that. I don't want to take that point away from him completely. Alex is saying, about this forgiveness stuff. There's a whole lot of phony people saying, oh, forgive. Or a whole lot of phony people saying, oh, love. Or a lot of phony people saying, oh, don't hate. We need to fight hate. And they're filled with hate. What a mess. So it's super, super interesting to me.